Hey, I heard there was an intruder. So what in the hell were the captains doing? An intruder? I haven't heard anything. Are you sure that information is true? So what, you're saying I'm lying? I didn't say you were lying, but maybe you misunderstood something. If it really happened, I would be the first to know. Since I wasn't in the know, then it must be fake information. Huh, is that so? But if it was true, you're going to pay for it.
Supposedly, they stormed to Hijikata's room, but he told them the incident of the intruder was a misunderstanding. The only people that were notified of Kazuma's infiltration were only a handful of the captains. So, in the eyes of the public, the infiltration of Nijo Castle didn't happen. Okay? Keep it on the hush-hush. But since then, once the rest of the men returned, there was a meeting among the captains. The subject of that meeting was the three men at Nijo Castle: Chikage Kazuma, Kyuju Amagiri, and Kyo Shiranui. They called themselves demons, and their previous encounters with the Shinsengumi suggested they were somehow involved with the Satsuma and Choshu. The Satsuma were the most powerful domain in the opposition domain, and the Choshu are publicly expressive of their dissent towards the shogunate. The Choshu are essentially enemies of the court. I don't know how the three men are supposedly affiliated with the domains, but it was abundantly clear they are not to be dealt with carelessly. There was another problem, however. Why had they come for me? They said I was one of them, and knew about my family name and my Kodachi. But how? My name is Chizuru Yukimura. I am the daughter of my father and my mother. I am a normal girl, nothing out of the ordinary. But who am I? More than what you think. But you don't share this information with anyone. Nope. Play it super close to the chest. Bleh. Well, back to normalcy. June 1864, 65, take your pick. The compound was alive with noise and movement. I passed several soldiers in the halls, each one of them excited about something. What was going on?
This is unconscionable. Never in all my...
Oh, hello. Ito? Is something wrong?
Yes, I'd say everything is wrong. Why should I be made to bare my skin in the same room as those savages?
Ito's explanation was useless. I was completely confused. Is there something going on today? Ito did his best to collect himself, shakily adjusting his hair and clothing before he spoke.
Someone claiming to be a doctor whom Kondo met on his visit to the Shogun has arrived. He is conducting physical examinations.
With a disdainful sniff, he glared pointedly across the hall towards the area he'd just left. The men were getting physical checkups, that much I knew. Given my particular situation, I'd been exempted by the captains, who also gave me special instructions to stay away.
That hairless monster! That doctor! He demanded I remove my clothes in front of everyone! When I refused, as any decent man would, he tried to remove them himself, by force! And the rest of them just stood there! What sort of uncultured savages are they?
Savages seemed a bit strong. At any rate, perhaps I should go see just what a physical entailed. I was a doctor's daughter, after all, Winku. What's this doctor's name?
I believe he called himself Ryojin Matsumoto.
What? Wait, Dr. Matsumoto?
What's up with that reaction? Do you know him?
When I first came to Kyoto, my plan was to find Dr. Matsumoto. My father told me that I could rely on the man if I ever needed anything. Unfortunately, he was away on business when I'd arrived, and after that... I'm going to go watch the physical exams. There's no time to waste.
Oh my. So you want to see those savages? What peculiar taste.
Poor Ito. Is this it? I could hear loud voices from inside. Oh! Oh. The scene froze me in place.
Alright, next.
At last! My turn! Check this out, Doctor!
The scene's great.
What do you think? You're looking at the amazing product of years of training.
Your body's fine, Shin. I think it's your head the doctor ought to be taking a look at.
What's that? You say you want me to beat the daylights out of you?
You're fine, Shinpachi Nagakura. Now get. Next.
Whoa, hold on there, Doc. You gotta get a good look at this.
No, you're quite fine. Healthy as a horse, and I've seen quite enough. Thank you.
You're holding up the line, Shinpachi. Get moving, okay? I'm just saying, I don't really think you've had time to fully examine. Don't you want to order a slice of this beefcake? I got 2 meaty servings on a plate right here. A medical examination is for finding problems, not showing off. Now move.
It wasn't difficult to see why Ito was desperate to escape. I couldn't imagine him as part of such a display. What should I do? I feel like it's rude to intrude.
Yukimura, what are you doing here? Is something the matter?
Oh, Yamazaki, hello. I heard that Dr. Matsumoto was here. Yamazaki didn't look like he was in the mood to tolerate my snooping, so he went to the point.
I see. I take it you aim to speak with him, huh? I have been briefed on everything regarding your situation. I think I know what you're doing. However, the physicals are taking some time. Will you leave this to me?
What should I do? Again, it's not showing my choice from last time. I think I said yes last time. And that seemed to work out fine, so... Are you sure? Then yes, please do so.
Got it. Please excuse me.
Thank you, Yamazaki. Yamazaki went over to Dr. Matsumoto.
Pardon me, Dr. Matsumoto. Please allow me to look after those whose symptoms are minor. Why not take a little break?
I'll take you up on your offer.
I waited outside for Dr. Matsumoto until he stepped out of the examination room. Excuse me.
Yes.
He looked at me for a moment, his eyes narrowed in curiosity.
I need to fetch some more medicine, so maybe it's a good time for a break. Can you give me a hand?
Oh, yes, of course. What luck! How fortunate. Dr. Matsumoto.
Oh, Doctor. Hello, Yukimura.
Oh, hi, Kondo.
I see you found her already.
Yes, thanks to you.
What? I was utterly lost. Dr. Matsumoto laid a gentle hand on my shoulder.
Chizuru, I came here to see you. Kondo told me that Kodo's daughter was staying with the Shinsengumi.
Oh, I see.
I knew Kodo and Matsumoto were acquaintances. So I thought perhaps Matsumoto might be able to give us a clue as to his friend's whereabouts. I looked him up as soon as he returned to Kyoto.
The Shinsengumi had their own reasons for wanting my father found, but Dr. Matsumoto's appearance was still cause for joy. Thank you, both of you. They smiled. Dr. Matsumoto then explained he had just barely missed me when he left for Edo as I came to Kyoto. He'd received all my letters, but once he finally returned, he had no idea where I was and consequently couldn't find me.
I'm sorry that I missed you. You must have had a rough time of it. Is there anything you need?
No, I'm doing all right. So, Dr. Matsumoto, about my father. His face took on a grim cast, and before he even spoke, I knew what his response would be.
Unfortunately, I know no more about where Kodo might be than you do.
I see. The defeated tone of my voice surprised me. I suppose on some level I believed Dr. Matsumoto had some miraculous revelation about my father. Foolish of me, of course, but that didn't make the truth any less devastating. Kondo simply nodded.
I hear you've become involved with the treatment. You know what I mean, don't you? Kodo's experiments.
Yes, I knew what he meant. The experiments my father conducted with some strange concoction that could make people go mad. Please, tell me about it. I want to know everything my father was doing. He nodded.
Kodo was working with the Shinsengumi under orders from the Shogun to create what were called furies. Furies are humans with nigh demonic strength and speed and phenomenal healing abilities.
Furies. This term seemed so familiar, then I realized I'd overheard some of the men talking about it.
Don't jinx him, Soji. It's gonna look bad if officers start joining the Furies.
Oh, so furies come from something you drink where any injuries could be cured.
The Furies that Heisuke spoke about are meant to be pitied.
The substance that transforms normal men into these furies is called the Water of Life. In China, they call it sentan. In short, it grants immortality.
Furies. Water of life. It sounded more like something from a fairy tale rather than real life. But there was something in Dr. Matsumoto's tone of voice that said he was telling the truth. I've already heard about how it makes you strong and hard to kill. But doesn't it cause so much pain that it makes most people go crazy? And even if you survive that, then even the smell of blood can make you go crazy again. Dr. Matsumoto nodded slowly, then pinched the bridge of his nose with thumb and forefinger. He looked very tired.
So you know about that too?
Yes. They were human, but not human. Perhaps they were almost entirely different now. I couldn't see how this water of life could ever be used for good. Even if it had healed Sanon's arm, he'd suffered greatly in the process. Why? It sounded more like a moan than a question. My father would never want to ruin the life of another, but because of what he'd done, people suffered and some even died. Why was my father doing this? But it wasn't just my father. I was sure no one involved expected such a terrible outcome.
Perhaps that is why Kodo left. His conscience would no longer allow him to continue.
But the Water of Life was an opportunity given to us by the Shogun to help strengthen the Shinsengumi.
The doctor only shook his head.
It was an experiment and it has failed. You should put it behind you. I'm sure the Shogunate has abandoned it as well.
Kondo frowned, perhaps unhappy that Dr. Matsumoto would question the Shogunate's original decision.
You've seen what happened to the men it was tested on, Kondo. It cannot be allowed to continue. This experiment is inhumane, and you know it.
Kondo gave a non-committal grunt and fell silent. I was sure Kondo knew just how dangerous it was to use the Water of Life, but the Shogunate had come to him with a request. Perhaps he couldn't refuse, even if he wanted to. Silence fell like a thick blanket.
I understand that you are the Shogunate's designated doctor, but you are not one of us. An outsider has no right to object.
Sanon? His face was pale as moonlight, as if he was a walking corpse. Is it okay for you to be up right now?
Shouldn't you be resting, Sanon? You look pale. Don't worry about me.
He bowed quickly, his mouth a compressed line, and turned to regard the doctor with a cool gaze.
We use this treatment effectively, and at our own discretion.
It's dangerous and far too strong.
We have continued Kodo's research. I am, as you can see, living proof, so to speak.
As Sanan did indeed prove, it was possible to drink the water of life and retain your sanity. It just wasn't easy.
Perhaps you're right. But that could also mean that you're forcing your body in ways the eyes can't see.
I am perfectly healthy. I respectfully disagree. With continued research and modification, we will have many more successes and fewer casualties.
Do you plan on sacrificing more of your men in order to have more successes? Using your men to experiment with things that put them in danger comes off as a disregard for life. It's a disgrace.
The men who gave their lives are the foundation of our work. They did not die in vain.
But...
Alright, that's enough. From both of you. Why don't we discuss this some other time?
It was my private opinion that they were unlikely to agree, no matter what time they discussed the subject, but I felt it was polite to keep quiet.
Very well.
There seemed to be very little common ground between them, but both arguments had merit. Kondo had likely seen this as well, and he chose to end things before it got unpleasant.
If you insist, Kondo.
Sanon's face betrayed nothing of what he might be thinking, even when the corner of his mouth quirked up into the beginning of a smile. He bowed quietly and left as swiftly as he arrived.
So, how did the exams go?
Yes, about that. This sure is a headache.
What? Why is that?
What do you mean, why? The amount of injured and sick warriors is nearly a third of your force.
What?
Impossible!
It is not only possible, Kondo, it is the truth. What have you been doing to these poor men? Cuts, lacerations, bowel pain. This entire place is lousy with, well, lice for one.
Seriously? I'm so embarrassed to hear this. I never would have imagined.
First, you need to set aside a room dedicated to medical care. Sick men can be sent there. Second, you need to clean this place up. Otherwise, I won't be able to help you.
Understood. I'll get to it this instant.
Get everybody some brooms and dusters. So we were ordered to clean the entire compound.
Why the hell do we have to do a massive cleaning? There's nothing I hate more in the world than cleaning and organizing crap. Stop bitching. Hurry up and lift up that cabinet over there. Now's the perfect chance to serve up those meat cakes you were flaunting earlier.
Ah! A rat!
Calm down, it's not a big deal. It seems as though it was feeding on that rice ball over there.
You're right. Who the hell hid their leftovers over here in the corner?
Ugh, why do I have to bother myself with such a menial task like a servant? I mean, I'm a strategist more than anything. Cleaning isn't in my job description.
Chill out. Why don't you just whip out your prize Koshu style and do all the work for us?
Shut it! My Koshu military science wasn't designed to help any of you with your housework. What a preposterous idea!
You're quite the big meanie, Harada. Those archaic tactics of his wouldn't be enough to fetch a broom, let alone clean this mess. Nice.
Meh. Miki, you watch your mouth. It may be outdated.
Okay, it's still him.
It may be outdated compared to Western studies, but Koshu military science is far from outdated.
Oh look, Kondo's coming.
What? Chief Kondo, please look. This room was so dirty you couldn't even walk on it, but under my guidance it's clean as a Where's the chief?
Takeda realized Kondo was nowhere to be seen, and he glared at Harada.
You fell for it.
Damn you, Harada. You tricked me!
Wow, between bitching, kissing ass, and whining like a baby, you're quite the multitasker.
Damn, called out.
Don't you ever get tired of being a two-faced prick, not knowing which face to show people?
Man, that was a slow roast. Hi everyone, I've washed the rags. Please use this when you wipe the floor.
Oh, awesome. Thanks!
Despite being upset because of chore duty, the men swiftly cleaned the room as a team. Yay, you pulled together in the end. Dr. Matsumoto came the next day to inspect the cleanliness of the compounds.
Okay, this looks to be in adequate shape.
Right. See everyone, even the doctor realizes that I'm in shape.
Compared to the complexity of war tactics, it's not like cleaning is some brilliant task.
All you did was complain.
Didn't Soji get to rest all day? Sounds like he got special treatment while we busted our asses.
Hey, don't blame me. Hijikata is the one being overprotective here.
It is your fault. You're the one coughing up a lung. You're not improving because you don't take care of yourself. Seeing the compound in such nice, clean conditions is, I must admit, quite nice. True. The place looks different. I could get used to this. Well, maybe we should clean every day then. Great idea. Make sure you do a good job, Heisuke.
Me? Whoa, whoa, hold on a minute here. You've got the most energy, Shin. Don't think you're getting out of this.
I'll help too, Heisuke.
Oh yeah? We'll take it on together. You and me alone. Forget Shin.
Hey, wait a minute. I didn't say I wasn't gonna do it. Shinpachi, there's some trash over there. Go throw it away. We aren't starting till tomorrow, right? Heisuke? Stop running around like that. We just cleaned and you're already kicking up dust.
I was enjoying the banter when I noticed something. Oh? Oh no. Diagnosis time. I could just see Okita and Dr. Matsumoto outside, walking off somewhere together. Where could they be going, I wondered. Sips tea. It's not any of my business. Gonna cry over here. I was worried for Okita, but not on the route. He'd be fine so long as Dr. Matsumoto was with him. After the excitement wound down, I excused myself and went back to work. I was outside sweeping, bamboo broom in hand, when he appeared. He?
What are you doing here?
Don't come any closer! His voice was so deep that it felt as if it were exhumed from the depths of the earth, cowering me. Ow, whoops. Apparently he's making me knock into my desk. Slowly I turned around. Oh my god! What are you doing here? Well, okay, I forgive the description of his voice. He just strolled in with, like, nothing. How? Can you also go invisible?
You have the pure blood of a demon running in your veins, and yet you run errands and clean up for a pack of humans.
Kazuma! His face was a mixture of surprise and sneering disgust as he looked down at me through cold eyes. I held the broom in both hands like a staff and stepped into what I hoped was a fighting stance. What are you doing here? He laughed with disdain, snorting at my weapon.
You mean to fight me with that? Your heritage hasn't blessed you with brains, I see.
His tone was mocking, but his eyes were like 2 chips of ice. Well, let me tell you right here, you ain't gonna get no nookie with that attitude or those words, monsieur. This was the dangerous man, though. What was I to do? I could hardly face him alone.
Calm down. I haven't come here to fight. Not today, at least. I only want to know what, if anything, you have to do with Kyoto.
My father? I was staring at him, stunned by his statement. I'm just here to ask you like a couple of questions, then I'll be on my way to go pick up lunch, I guess.
Father? You mean Kyoto?
If you're talking about Koto Yukimura, then yes, he's my father.
I see.
At first he seemed surprised, but then he wore a malicious grin as if he became privy to everything. Why are you asking about my father? I lowered the broom, my situation temporarily forgotten when. My hero.
Trying to sneak into the enemy camp alone, huh? Well, not on my watch.
Hijikata?
What are you doing out here in broad daylight? It's a little early to be picking up chicks, pal.
Harada just cannot let go of the picking up chicks line. Every time Kazuma shows up, he's just like calling him out for it.
Get away from her!
Harada! Heisuke!
I heard you yelling. Sounded like you were up to something besides cleaning.
You alright, Chizuru? Are you hurt?
Yeah, don't worry about me. I'm fine.
The Mibu's wolves can only fight in a pack, eh?
Watch it. I could feel the tension rising by the second, but it was Kazuma who attempted to cut through it.
If you want to play, then I'm happy to oblige, but I'm here today to take care of some business. More specifically, to issue a warning. Stop trying to turn humans into demons.
What? Humans into demons? Was he talking about the water of life?
You don't know what you're talking about. Yeah, what makes you think we're gonna listen to a sleazebag who would attack a girl in broad daylight? Idiots. Are you too blind to see I'm doing you a favor? Well, they do say the smaller the dog, the louder the bark.
This is our turf! You better shut your trap before we gotta do it for you!
He looked away from the captains as if entirely uninterested in them and flashed a cold gaze to me.
Chizuru Yukimura. Kyoto is with us now. Do you understand what that means? Your father has abandoned the shogunate.
What? His mysterious smile gave me nothing in the way of explanation.
Why are you here? I suggest you think on that. Carefully.
Sneaky. I joined the Shinsengumi to find my father. He just told me that he has my father. So, what reason do I have to stay with these guys now? Clever demon. Then, with a slow, rippling motion, like a shadow sliding on ground, he turned his back and vanished. It's pretty impressive. What was happening? What were demons, and why had they come after me? I mean, do they need to write it out on a scroll for you that says, "You are a demon"? Or like have a mirror and say, "The person that you see in this mirror is a demon," and show it to you. My father was with them? On their side, he must have meant. Did that mean he was working with Imperialists? The inside of my head was a swirling mass of questions and doubts, but the one thing that most concerned me was... sheesh. The demons. Their interest in me, my father, turning humans into demons. I don't know which of these is, like, Hijikata territory. Interest in me might be Chikage. Is this for the 4 guys that are currently around? I mean, Chikage's, like, pieced out, but... This is one of the things here? This is so confusing. I mean, we're with the Demon Commander, so... This is all about the Shinsengumi versus the demons, so maybe the demons is the thing that we should be concerned about right now? I'm taking a shot in the dark. I guess I'll see how this goes. If it doesn't lead to something that great, I guess I can come back. Who were these men who called themselves demons? Okay, you showed up right away, so that's a good sign. What are these demons?
After fighting them, I can say they sure as hell aren't human. Not by a long shot. I fought against many different kinds of warriors, but I've never met anyone as powerful as them. Yeah, I'd say demon is a pretty good way to describe him.
Kazuma and his companions clearly had strength and skill far beyond that of most men. I could even say that if they were to go against a wild bear or wolf, they'd still defeat them. Oh man, he's so much closer than those two.
Well, hell, if Hijikata thinks they're demons, then they've gotta be demons.
Yup. He's the Shinsengumi's demon after all.
Okay, my train of thought was on the right track.
Shut it, you two. This is serious.
Their playful argument was familiar ground, but it was a small beacon against the darkness. I felt myself relax, and a sigh of relief found its way through me.